Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Successful Women Talk here on your golden channel, channel 265. We still continue the conversation with Florence Begwa, who before the break was telling us of her first big award. Ma'am Begwa, you were still telling us of your journey and the opportunities that winning exposed you to. We'd love to know what was the biggest opportunity, according to you, that you feel winning this award opened doors to?
The first opportunity was being able to motivate fellow educators. That was my first gig, to motivate fellow educators in the neighboring schools. Beside motivation, teachers wanted me to teach them on how I teach certain concepts for different subjects that I teach. And I feel if I teach a teacher to be able to go and teach, I've taught more learners than I'm teaching on the normal day-to-day basis. Because let's say I teach 10 teachers and each of the teachers is having 100 learners. It means how many learners have I taught? I've taught so many learners. So for me, I felt this is big for me. But next to that was being able to induct educators, newly appointed educators.
Oh, wow.
I was invited by the Mopani West District to come and help induct newly appointed educators. Talk to them about the National Teaching Awards and also the work ethic in the teaching fraternity. That was beautiful. I think I had teachers from more than 80 schools, if I'm not mistaken. The hall was filled to the brim.
Oh, wow.
It was overwhelming, but at the same time, I felt if I can share my work ethics with these teachers, those who are going to grab it and run with it are going to be really good teachers. Not only that, I was invited by the MEC of Education in Limpopo to come and motivate the teachers who got a bursary to learn how to teach grade R's. When they graduated, I was invited to be the motivational speaker. And these are some of the opportunities that as a CS1 educator who is there at Malamulele in Limpopo, no one would have recognized. I would never have met the MEC in any way. I would never have met the district director for Mopani West in any way. Recently, for National Teaching Awards, I've trained teachers in my district, and I've trained a lot of teachers in Mopani West and Mopani East District.
Oh, wow.
There are many people who called to be coached before they went for their district, provincial, as well as national competition for National Teaching Awards. I'm now an ambassador for National Teaching Awards.
Oh, wow.
And this is beautiful. It's like interacting with those teachers. I don't only teach or coach them, but I also learn from their work. I've met the best. I've met people who are creative and they're adding on to my knowledge as well as a teacher. So winning the awards, it's more like demanding me to research more, to know more, because people want to know from me.
Oh, wow.
It has kept me on my toes to expand from what I knew when I won. I think I'm better now than before I won, because a lot is expected from me. Like they usually say that to whom more is given, much is expected. So that is what South Africa has expected from me, and I've delivered. And that makes me happy and satisfied.
And how has it been being able to interact with educators, not only in your district? Because now we're talking of a national award, meaning definitely you've been interacting with educators from the other districts also and the other provinces within the country. How has that experience enriched you as an individual?
Very informative, I must say. From my colleagues who were with me in the National Teaching Awards, I've learned a lot. From the people I coach, I have learned a lot from them as well. I've met people in this education fraternity who are doctors, teachers who are just doing their best, being creative in their own little space, and that has enriched me as a person, and I've learned a lot from those speak.
And at what point you feel that, okay, education is now beginning to pay me in terms of, now we're talking of the financial side. What was your first gift to yourself that you were like, okay, now I'm working, considering that you started working as a young person and already you had a lot of responsibilities awaiting you?
My first salary went to my birthday celebration.
Right.
I used to say I don't want to celebrate my birthday. On my birthday, I would really ask my mom to give me the little that she has so that I can be able to spoil myself. But personally, after starting working, I never celebrated my birthday because I never saw the need to. But then when I started working in the government, that was in 2017, my first salary, I took my mom out shopping.
Oh, wow.
She shopped until she dropped that day. I think it was my mom, my sister, and her little child, and my other sister's child. I think I spent about 10 grand or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My mom is not a shopaholic, but that day she shopped until she said, no, I'm tired. I want to sit. On my mom, I think I spent about 10 grand a day.
Oh, wow.
So from that year, when I started earning a salary, every year I would celebrate my birthday by celebrating my mom.
Oh, wow.
I would take her to a hotel. She goes and have lunch or dinner, do a little bit of shopping, or buy a present for her. Since then, it's unfortunate. This year we lost her in July. This year on my birthday, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to celebrate my birthday because I told myself that is how I would always celebrate it. But I think God has a reason for everything that happens in our life. But that is how
you've been celebrating.
Yeah, yes.
Sorry so much to hear about your loss. You're coming with a lot of lessons. I would love to. One thing that I would love you to touch on is the importance to keep grounded within the family space, because most of the times we struggle when we grow up, right? But when things start getting right, we forget the people that have been there for us on our journey. How important is it to stay grounded like that?
For me, I'm a family person. People who know me would say, Florence, when it comes to family, she's big on that. When I went to the province to celebrate my win, I took my mom with me.
Oh, wow.
They said, bring a partner. And I took my mom. My mom was old. She was now using a stick. But I took her there because I wanted her to experience that life. And I felt she needs to celebrate more than me because she suffered more than me.
Oh,
yes, to bring us up and everything. Whenever I celebrate and my family is not there, it's not complete. Recently, my school celebrated me in March on the 6th at Play Day in Mpumalanga. I was supposed to bring 3 people.
Oh, wow.
The 3 people that I went there with was my mom, my daughter, and my son.
Oh, wow.
That's how big I am on family. There is no me without family. There is no me without my roots. So for me, that is my first priority. Everything comes after that.
Taking us back to the family now in the classroom, right? Most of the times when I interact with young people, I hear them saying that parents do not understand them. What is it that you feel parents fail to understand from young people, speaking from the perspective of an educator?
We as adults or as parents, sometimes we don't want to listen to our kids. We only want to give them instructions. And sometimes these people, as much as we are stressed sometimes, they are also stressed in their own way.
Oh, yes.
The fact that a child is growing up at home without a father, for a parent, they may think it's nothing because I'm providing everything for the child. But somehow it's affecting the child. You should actually give the child a room to talk about that. Whatever makes them happy, whatever makes them sad, as parents, we need to give our children room to be able to do that. But it doesn't start there. When we are at home, how are we interacting with our children? These days, there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook, a lot of social media, wherever. I'm telling you, if we can have bugs in homes, you'll find that kids are on their own phones, parents are on their own phones. Everyone is busy communicating with someone somewhere.
Who's different in a different home.
We are not communicating as families. We are communicating a lot with other people outside. And is that building our relationship with our kids? No, it's not. The same with us as educators. If I go into the classroom as a tyrant or as a person who wants to put their foot down and be felt, we're never going to connect with the children. Go there as a friend who is willing to listen and who is not judgmental. Whatever it is that they want to talk about, listen to them, and your comments should not be judgmental. Then they'll open up to you.
How do you then strike that balance? Because there are times when you feel that, no, child, this is not right. How do you strike that balance to remain neutral in as much as you can hear that maybe what the child is saying is a little bit out of line?
Emotional intelligence. We need to be able to control ourselves no matter how bad the situation is. Imagine your child coming home to tell you that I've seen so and so and so and so has a crush on me. The first thing as a parent, you want to lash. It's normal, but you need to have that control over your emotions to say, okay, so what was happening and how do you feel about it? What do you think about that? Have that conversation without bringing in your emotions as a parent. You know why we are emotional. We know where this thing is leading, and maybe we have experienced that and we don't want that for our kids. But lashing out is only going to close the communication. The moment you show anger to the children, it's like they also start closing their ears and they will not listen to whatever you're going to say. So we should be able to control our emotions and be able to have that ear to listen and be able to intervene in a way that they will still feel comfortable.
And how do we intervene now when it comes to them assisting them with their schoolwork? Do you feel as parents we are invested enough in the education of our kids, or we just pay school fees and leave you guys to deal with whatever comes?
The unfortunate part with the experience that I see or I've come across with, most parents think it's only up to the teachers to teach their kids. Reality is that education does not start at school. Education starts from home. A child whose parents are involved in their education is not the same with the ones that are not involved. There are children who are struggling, who have got barriers to learning. But because of the support that they're having at home, they are developing so well, and at the end of the day, sometimes they even overcome those barriers that they have to learning because they have what? They've got support. There are kids who are gifted academically, naturally gifted, but they don't have support from home. And when they get home, they just go over their homework however they want. The book is not neat. No one monitors their work. And at the end of the day, you find that that child deteriorates because they don't see the need. Who should they impress? No one. It's only a teacher who minds what they do at school, but the parents, they really don't care. But I'm here to say to parents, this is a call and a humble plea to say, let us be involved in our children's education. Sometimes we don't understand what is going on. The teachers are there for us at school to guide us as to how we can assist our children. You know that your child cannot be able to read, but you don't know where to start. The teachers are there, open for you to be able to assist you as a parent. Whatever it is, the teachers are there to guide you. I think it's not all up to the teachers to call the parents to come and learn whatever it is, but parents should also be initiators of their own children's education. I normally tell my parents to say, even some of the things that you don't understand, be involved. Ask them, what did you do? How? What did the teacher say? What is this? You'll be learning as they're explaining.
Oh, yes,
and then you'll
true.
be able to do what? To chip in and be able to support the child. A child who is having a support system at home and a child who is not having a support system at home
They're different.
will never be the same. So it's time parents get involved in their children's education and make sure that the children succeed.
You're still watching Successful Women Talk here on your Golden Channel, channel 265. To continue with this conversation and more, you can be in touch with us on s_women_meg, that is on Instagram. Or you can contact us on WhatsApp number 071-481-6091. As an educator, you spend so much time with our kids, and most of the times with us parents, we are not there. I would love you to tell us, how can we equip our kids and empower them to be able to face this difficult world that we're in at the moment?
First of all, is for the children to know that they are valued. They are valued and they are accepted for who they really are. The mistake that we do as adults or as parents is to compare our children with other children, and that is very wrong, because all the children that we have are unique.
Different.
Even twins are not the same. Now, why would a parent compare their child with their child's neighbor? That is wrong. We should actually start by accepting our kids for who they are. Not who we want them to be, but for who they really are. The color of their skin, even if it's not the same as ours. The way they look physically. Sometimes as parents, we tend to address them according to the way they look. Let's give our children confidence by accepting who they are and telling them that you are handsome the way you are. You are beautiful the way you are. It starts from acceptance. And then from there, let's give them enough room. If your child loves soccer, buy them soccer boots. Allow them to go to the ground and play with other kids. In that way, you'll be nurturing your child's what? Talent.
Talent, oh yes.
Some of the children feel, okay, I want to sing. I'm a singer. But as a parent, you know the financial implications of being a singer and all those things.
Oh yes.
Now you want to block the child. That is what interests the child. Let us be able to help our children discover themselves and nurture the talents that they have, not being biased, because you find that a parent wanted to be a doctor. Now they want their child to be a doctor because they wanted to be a doctor and they could not become a doctor. Your child is not a doctor, your child is an artist.
Oh wow.
So let's allow our children to be, but at the same time, let's help them discover who they really are and accept them for who they are and nurture their talents the way they are. And then in that way, we'll be helping them to grow.
Bullying is quite a brief topic at the moment within our country.
Yeah.
What can be done starting from the school phase to make sure that that culture that is beginning to grow dies down before we even get to the home?
I'll start from the home.
Okay.
I believe strongly that education starts from home before it gets to school.
The classroom, yes.
Yes. What are our children seeing from us as parents? How are we addressing each other in the home? That rubs in so much on the children. You will find that a child who is from an abusive home wants to abuse other children at school. That's why I'm saying education starts from home.
Yes, I'm with you.
Let's find a ground where we understand that when we have problems, there is a way in which we sort out our problems. And that way is not through violence and not in front of the children.
Oh, yes, yes.
You'll find that children who are from a good home are good learners and they are good participants of the society. Also, also, when it comes to the home, the chores that we are giving to our children, you'll find that in homes, girls are meant to wash dishes, boys are meant to just sit and watch television and ask for tea whenever they want. That's wrong.
Oh yes.
It's another form of bullying and another form of not exercising equality in the home. They grow up knowing that the girls have to toil for the boys, and the boys just have to sit and watch cartoons or play soccer or do whatever it is that they want. Boys can also wash dishes.
Oh yes.
Boys can also clean. So let's start fixing it in the home first. When we come to the school setup, because of the pandemic, the children are no longer cleaning the classrooms. But in the past, you would find that girls are cleaning and boys are out playing soccer again. Can you see? We are creating a room wherein a boy understands that the girl has to work for me, even at school.
Oh wow.
That is a basis where you find that girls are abused by boys because they feel it's the duty of the boy to enjoy and the duty of a girl to suffer.
To toil.
Yes. And then also when it comes to programs that come at schools, they focus more on girls than boys. Let's take care of the girl child. Let's do this for the girl child. That is fine and good, but we are neglecting our boys. And when we neglect them, what happens? The girl becomes very empowered, very responsible, and becomes a powerful woman. Now there comes a boy who has not been empowered, who has not even taken their education seriously, and they are dating your girl, or they are married to your girl. What happens? The girl is independent, the girl is powerful, responsible and everything, and then the guy is what? Is intimidated. And that is what also triggers violence as well.
Yes.
Because they feel inferior. Now because I have got physical strength, I'm going to use my physical strength to make you understand that I'm more powerful than you.
Oh wow.
So there should be programs, I think, even in the schools that empower the boy child. Let's have the balance of how we equip the girl child and how we equip the boy child in order to fix the society.
You've given us quite a number of lessons, and you've opened our eyes to quite a number of things within the educational space. I'd like you to give advice to an educator who's coming up, or an educator who's also been within the space for so long but have not really felt the need to go an extra mile in doing their work.
I would say let's get into this knowing that it's a big responsibility on our shoulders. For our society to succeed, it's through education. For our society to go down, it's us. Actually, a teacher can build and a teacher can break. Now, for a teacher who is upcoming, for a teacher who is in the teaching fraternity already, I think I've got this question that each one of us should ask in ourselves and answer ourselves and be able to do something about it. To say, am I building or am I breaking? Teachers are powerful. We've got the power to build a child and the child succeeds. And we have the power to break the child and the child will die and continue walking. I think that is the highest level of witchcraft that a teacher can do. So let's ask ourselves, are we building or are we breaking? Whatever it is that we can be able to build our society through education, let us do it. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon with which we can change the world. Now, there are many weapons that can be used to change the world, right? But the one for education is the most powerful. And there is no education without a teacher. As much as we are saying we are now in the fourth industrial revolution,
things can be done by robots. We can program a robot to do this and that. Fine and good, that can be done in other industries. But when it comes to education, I want to tell you, I've taught with Google Classroom, I've taught with WhatsApp teaching when the children are not at school. Nothing can replace a teacher. Nothing can replace a teacher. So still, even now and even today, I'm still saying we are the builders of our society. We are the breakers of our society. If we see ill behaviors in the society, it is because of a teacher. That child that we are neglecting in the class is the same child who is a criminal who's coming to break in our house.
Imagine if you can give attention to that child.
Just giving us advice to teachers in general, right? But we've got a teacher who says, I am in deep rural areas. I've got very limited resources. What advice would you give to such an individual?
I like the fact that as educators, no matter the deep rurals that we are working in, I also work in a township, it's more townish rural. We as educators have gone to school, have been exposed to different things. Our exposure is not only for us, but for the children as well. We don't need a lot of resources to start. We need actually a little. I remember when I started teaching with my laptop and the projector in the class. If you can see my laptop, the way it used to look, it's so funny. We don't actually need a lot of things to start. We need a little to start, and then we grow from the little that we have. Do you know that you can still start teaching coding and robotics from a cell phone or a tablet? Even if it's one, even if there are two, even if there are three, we can share in the classroom and do our bit. You know, it's South Africa, we are not yet really in with the fourth industrial revolution. But what am I doing as a teacher? At least let me be doing something towards what? Towards moving the children into the fourth industrial revolution. We are not yet in that space, and already the world is talking about the fifth. So what am I doing as a teacher to expose my children? I am exposed so that I can be able to expose my children. When I'm teaching my lesson, what I love most is relating my teaching to real life situations. Because in any way, why are we teaching our children? We want them to be able to solve problems in the real life, to be able to live in the real world. Let the education move from the book and become real. Even in the deep rurals, still education can be real. Imagine if you are teaching a grade 5 learner natural science and you are teaching the types of soil, for example, and you bring in the sandy soil, you bring in the loamy soil, and the children get to touch the soil, get to feel it, get to smell it. Now, education has become real. I'm learning about the types of soil, and this is what I'm using. If they need to do gardening at home, which type of soil are they supposed to use? They have seen that in class and they know, and it's going to even assist at home.
Oh, wow.
When we are teaching a concept in class, let's say right now in grade 7, we are teaching three-dimensional shape, two-dimensional shapes. Children must not imagine these things. Bring them to the class. Even if you just bring a box that will show a two-dimensional, a three-dimensional shape. Let them see the dimensions. Open it up. Let them see the nets. Let education be real. They don't need to go to a city to be able to make education real. As teachers, we are called to be innovative. We are called to be initiators. Some of these things are readily there for us, but some are not. It means it's our responsibility to make those resources and expose our children in that deep rural, so that they are able to be competitive in the world. Remember, we are not teaching these children to come and work in the village again. With the fourth industrial revolution, we are simply learning that the world is a small village. Yes. And our child can be found to be working outside South Africa, wherever it is. We should actually teach these children with the mindset that they are not going to work only where they are. We should be able to teach a child who will be competitive in the world.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for visiting us today. Where can our viewers get hold of you?
I'm attached to Magangeni Primary School in Malamulele Township in Section A here in Limpopo.
You can also give us your social media handles for anyone who's watching at home who's interested in connecting with you.
Okay, I'm on Facebook. It's Begwami Kwangelo Florence Priscilla. And I also have my blog. It's Begwami Kwangelo Florence as well. I'm also on WhatsApp. Those are the social media platforms that I'm in.
Thank you so much for your time. You've been watching Successful Women Talk here on your golden channel, Channel 265. We're coming to you live from Tabani Mall, the designer's warehouse in Limpopo. To continue with these conversations and more, after this, you can join us on S_women_Mac. We look forward to you joining us again next week. Have a good evening.